Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at United. Rasmus Hojlund wants to shoulder the responsibility for firing Manchester United back to the top. The Red Devils have been widely linked to signing a new forward since the arrival of Ruben Amorim from Sporting CP. After leading a free-scoring team in Portugal, with a striker in Viktor Gyökeres, who had already scored 23 goals in 18 games, Amorim arrived at Old Trafford to a team who had only scored 12 goals in 11 outings. In just his second match in charge, he has seen Hojlund score a brace, having also provided the hard work for Alejandro Garnacho's tap-in against Bodo Glimt. The Dane found the net 16 times in his debut season, including 5 goals in 6 Champions League appearances. Hojlund is keen to provide a more consistent offering for United's front line, however. The 21-year-old is enthusiastic by the task of becoming as prolific as Gyökeres. "I think I showed last season with being top scorer for the team that I can score my goals," Hojlund said when asked if he could fulfill the same role as Amorim's previous sharpshooter. "I'm still very young, but obviously I would like to take the responsibility, and that's why I also took the number 9 this year, because I think I want to take the next level and the next step. But yeah, I still have a lot to grow. I'm still not the finished article. I'm only 21. Hojlund already appears to be taking on advice from Amorim to find success. The ex-Copenhagen striker benefited from the words of his new boss as he was inspired to close down and dispossess goalkeeper Nikita Kaikin ahead of United's opening goal. "He told me today not to think too much about the guys behind me and try to work a little bit more with just what I can see in front, to be very aggressive towards the goal," said Hojlund. And obviously we saw that with the first goal, and I was happy with that. United's number 9 also made use of Amorim's words of wisdom when he scored the winning goal on Thursday evening, as he converted a low Manuel Ugarte cross. "The manager told me at half-time to stick to running to the first post, and we saw how it worked out," he added. Caroline McAteer is the experienced PR specialist who manages a handful of Manchester United players, and she could manage her own United 5-a-side team. Cristiano Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho, Raphael Varane, Marcus Rashford, and Mason Mount's public relations are all handled by Miss McAteer. So gone from matchday squads. Ronaldo admitted he had no respect for United manager Erik Ten Hag. Sancho publicly accused Ten Hag of saying something completely untrue. Varane was released after United ignored the 1-year option in his contract. Rashford was very publicly dropped by successive permanent managers. Mount sent his best to Lisandro Martinez on Instagram this week. "All here for you, brother," his post read. "Call it gallows humour, but maybe that is because Mount is often in the physio's room." Mount has played in 33 games out of a possible 89 for United. The winter transfer window closed. United have whittled their squad down to 25 players, the minimum and advisable amount. Yet it has shrunk further. 2 of those players are Mount and Luke Shaw, physio room bedfellows. One is third-choice goalkeeper Tom Heaton, who has not played in 2 years. Martinez is out until next season. Then there are players at the back of the queue. Casemiro has played 20 minutes this calendar year, and his cameo in Bucharest last week was his first appearance in a month. United have specialist and auxiliary centre-halves to cover for Martinez, and Casemiro is 8th in line. Ruben Amorim does not fancy either of the 2 strikers. United forked out £108.5 million for, and they make up half of his attacking department. The irony of Rashford's daily drive through the M6 toll is there is a high probability a new Rashford will emerge. The stars aligned for Rashford in February 2016. Wayne Rooney was out injured. James Wilson, an academy-bred striker who scored twice on his senior debut, was out on loan at Brighton, and the more limited Ashley Fletcher was on loan at Barnsley. 3 days before United hosted Midtjylland in the Europa League, they dismissed Shrewsbury Town in the FA Cup 5th round. Will Keane came on, hit the post, and in doing so, tore his groin. Then, on the night of the Midtjylland match, Anthony Martial pulled up in the warm-up. 5 strikers cleared the way for Rashford's chance, and he took it with 4 goals in 2 games within 72 hours. The current United attack is more depleted than it was back then. Next week's FA Youth Cup 5th round tie against Chelsea will be staged at Leigh Sports Village rather than at Old Trafford. Every Youth Cup home draw during United's triumphant run in 2022 was held at their stadium. Leigh does not have a train station, and the tram line does not venture that far in Greater Manchester. The first team will not have played at Old Trafford in 5 days and will not play there again for another 2 weeks. Unsurprisingly, it has been suggested the Ineos cost-cutters have deemed it too expensive for Old Trafford to open its gates for the Academy's biggest game of the season. It would not be the first time Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his cabal have been out of touch with the football club they have invested in. United and Chelsea are the most successful clubs in the competition, and United prevailed in the team's last meeting at Leigh in December 2018, ending Chelsea's 5-year monopoly of the Youth Cup. The enthralling 4-3 victory was decided by the 17-year-old scorer of a hat-trick, Mason Greenwood. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, about to be installed as United's caretaker manager, was watching on television at home in Norway. He promoted Greenwood to the first team squad less than 3 months later. There is more at stake next Wednesday for Chido Obi Martin beyond helping United into the quarter-finals. The word from the club is he has not trained under Amorim so far, but that feels a matter of time. United's attack is sparse, and players will have recovery sessions the day after games, whilst others train. Obi Martin, 17, made his first starts for the under-21s last week, scoring in the 5-0 rout of Oldham Athletic in the National League Cup. Ethan Wheatley, previously the starting striker for the under-21s, is on loan at Walsall in League 2. Joe Hugel is in the same league and at the opposite end with Carlisle. Rashford, Antony and Sancho have all left the building. Rashford only played in 6 Youth Cup ties and scored once for the under-21s, which made his stratospheric start so seismic. There is already a buzz about Obi Martin, fueled by his summer transfer from Arsenal. There was a lot of he said, she said over that move. Arsenal claim Obi Martin made unreasonable demands and wanted a guarantee he would be in the first team squad. United trumpeted the signing as a coup after Obi Martin plundered 29 goals in 17 league games for Arsenal's academy last season. We must not get too carried away. Obi Martin shares the same agent as Sancho. Ruben Amorim started work as Manchester United's new head coach 4 days before Juventus and Paul Pogba announced they had mutually agreed to terminate the player's contract. That is how long the United Academy graduate has been a free agent. The winter transfer window has come and gone without a move, although free transfers can occur when other deals for contracted players cannot. Pogba also appears in no rush, presumably because the midfielder is not allowed to play again until next month, when his ban for doping ends 18 months after it began. However, he has been able to train since the start of this year. Men's Sport looks at the latest reports regarding Pogba and what the future may hold. Pogba's former United teammate Rio Ferdinand would offer him the chance to train with the club if he were in charge. He made those comments on the latest episode of Rio Presents. Ferdinand said, "You'd like to think he would be going somewhere. Surely he's got to go somewhere. Pogba at United, I'd go, come in and train with us, and let's see what you've got. I'd do that. I would have done that already. I'd say, come in and get fit and let's have a little look. Johnny Evans notably trained with United in the summer of 2023 to maintain fitness after leaving Leicester City. He has since signed several short-term contracts to play for the club. Pogba has never played professionally for a French club, leaving Le Havre for United aged 16. Marseille, though, much like the Reds are, name-checked in many reports regarding the future of the former France international, which would represent a reunion with former United teammate Mason Greenwood. However, now that the winter transfer window is closed, Pogba will not play for them this season. According to Get French Football News, clubs in Ligue 1 cannot register free agents, so he would now be unable to play for any French top-flight team until next season, even if he signed during this campaign.